And we're live.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Geeky Geezers, and thank you to the brilliance of Troy Pacelli for
I'm
getting
telling you,
a quick.
no,
No,
no, no. The brilliance of Troy Pacelli would have been not to try using Evie Sucks again.
I
So now we're going to take a moment to start sharing out this stream to everybody. And
yes,
Boomer, you should probably take a moment
I'm
to
going to cut and paste
erase.
it.
Listen,
Mhm.
erase the streams that are not currently live.
I'll do it.
Otherwise, people are confused.
I'll do it right now. I will privatize them. Give me a moment here. I can delete them too, but I'll privatize them for the time being for
That
those still
sounds
there.
like a plan.
Anyway, welcome everyone to Geeky Geezers. We had attempted to use Evie Mux one last time to see if they would pull through, and they didn't. But Troy's blaming himself. I agreed to it. It's also my fault, so it's it's not really your fault.
Very generous of
Okay.
you, but
Yes. Yeah.
this is how many times they've burned me. How have I not learned?
Okay.
So
So for those of you, I'm going to post the link to the new stream in the chat. It's
I
on
promise
YouTube.
everyone next week we'll be back up and running here on Restream. Look, I this is not a paid promotion, but they're the only ones working for me right now. And we'll have opening credits, we'll have closing credits, we'll have the whole shebang starting next week.
And I will
Well,
make
actually, the whole shebang minus Aged Boomer next week.
Yes, unfortunately, I will not be here. I did want to thank the Pacellis here for actually subbing. They didn't have to do that, but it's my sister's birthday, and I'm gonna have a gonna have a good time with the family. But they will be subbing for me that night, and it will be fun, regardless of whether or not Boomer is here. I know I'll be sorely missed, but they'll. But like I said, there may be a Thursday things with me on it in the near future too. So keep that in mind as well. All right. And I'm going to send one more link to the main YouTube page telling everybody where I am.
Yeah, and I'm doing that.
I think Netter just did. Okay. Good for you, Netter. Okay. And Netter, even though she's not showing up here, she is with us in spirit. You may
Yes,
even hear her disembodied
you can
voice
hear
in the
her in the
background.
background, but she is not in the studio because, again, F you, Evie sucks.
Well, you know what? It worked for us good for a while, and I don't, but like a lot of good things, they come to
Well,
an
this
end.
is what I said, the other day or earlier today in chat. It works great until it doesn't, and then it's catastrophic.
What is that one line that I liked? What was that in? It was in a movie, I think. It was like technology's great until it doesn't work.
Right. Well, you're not wrong.
Make sure I didn't privatize the current one when we're on. That might be good. Give me a moment here. Me.
No, we're still live. I can still.
Okay. I can
We
still
are
see
live.
us, and I can still see the up and coming one. Let me just make sure I privatize this. We're going private. All right. No private parts, though. It's a family show. Okay.
It's not that kind of stream, exactly.
All right. And we just get out of here, get back out into the studio. Yes, leave. And we should be good to go. The reason I always talk during streams is because I learned from the movie Autofocus. You don't want dead air, right?
I wish more YouTubers understood that, and that's also what you expect when you have, a host and a co-host. If I have to focus on something, I need the co-host to fill the dead air. If you're not doing that, you're not doing your job. So
Like when Troy gets up, has to use the bathroom, like, hi,
yeah,
everybody.
exactly.
Okay, anyway.
Well, I step away when I think no one's going to notice me, but Netter's here just in case.
Yeah.
Oh, he'll be right back.
Yes. All right, here. Why did my light just go off? Am I still live?
We are still live. Yes.
Okay, good. The power just flickered off for a sec. We're fine. We're
And you
fine
know
in
what?
Florida. Where Florida Power and Light decides
Yes,
when the
because
snow
I can
goes
hear
up.
you, and I'm not in the studio.
Well,
Okay.
yes, that's true.
All right.
Unfortunately, you are on the delay. So let me send you an invite just so that you're not delayed anymore. And we are going to have to make the investment in Restream so that we have all the seats that we should have. Oh gosh, I have no idea which Pizza Hut that is, but that could so easily have been the one that was down the street from my high school when I was in high school.
Gotcha.
If you'd told me, yeah, this is Riverside, Illinois, I would believe you. You know.
Yes. Oh, look at that. Deleted scene saying pizza. Speaking of which, welcome, Chad. I haven't said hi to you. I'm sorry. Okay.
That's right. Well, this is extreme discombobulation.
We
So
will say hi to you as your chats pile in. We really appreciate all of you popping in during the confusion. But Pizza Hut, we're doing Pizza Hut for the good old days.
I mean, of all the fast, okay, so I gotta say, what I always say about pizza, I always say that pizza is like sex. Even when it's not good, it's still not bad. And that's what you got to kind of say about. Let me bring in
Okay.
the
Look at
netter
that. Now
so
she's
that she
dealing
can
with her.
actually hear what we're talking about. But oh, I did that wrong. No, that's not what I wanted to do. Oh gosh.
We like my new
There
avatar,
we go.
by the way. Made that with painted that myself. Took me five months.
There we go.
Okay,
There
I'm
we go.
joking. Anyway, yeah, here.
Well, yeah, because you're on the non-paid
Okay.
plan, so it takes a long time to render.
Now, I of
Um,
course grew up in the New York, New Jersey area. Okay, so
right,
we had
right,
good pizza.
right.
And yet I would still like going to Pizza Hut because it was a bit different. Back then though it was a big deal.
I would argue that, and I've come to learn this now. The idea, so you and I have talked about the Chicago deep dish and the New York style pizza, and they are so different. It's like comparing a birthday cake to a cherry pie. I mean, it's that different. Um, and I'm not saying one is better than the other. I'm just saying they're very different. Well, I've also come to realize that what we call thin crust here in the Midwest is not the same as New York style. New
No.
York style is the large wedge slices you could fold over, whereas our thin crust is a little bit, it can be very thin like a cracker, up to like double dough kind of doughy, but cut into squares, and I can talk about why that is. I think that
Mm.
fast food Pizza Hut, pizza of any kind, fast food, whether it's Pizza Hut, Little Caesars, whatever, tends more towards that Midwestern style of less New York style and more thin crust Midwest style. But
Okay.
having said that, you're still also getting a very different pizza when you go to Pizza Hut than when you go to, say, your local pizzeria, right?
Well, yeah, but the thing that marked this is that this was a sit-down chain back in the 80s. And I know we've talked about this before, but
Yeah.
I figured it was good to bring up again because we've had time to reflect.
And this, oh gosh, this is so nostalgic, right? The red, and it had this very classic pizzeria of like the 50s and 60s style to it,
Yes.
especially in the Chicagoland area. You see that right here in the foreground, that stained glass hanging light fixture, the vinyl covers. Actually, those vinyl covers are not too terribly uncommon today in pizzerias. Very easy to clean, with a damp cloth before the next person comes in. And
Tiffany
although
lamp.
exactly, and although this was very 70s and 80s, not so much 50s and 60s, that salad bar in the middle
Mhm.
was very, very iconic. That totally went away. We don't see those much anymore. And
Mm.
those, well, we'll,
We
we'll
may have a
get
story on that later.
and the booths. The booths are very very classic. And it wasn't just for pizzerias, it was for so many things. In fact, it's so 50s 60s nostalgic that it appears as an item in Fallout when you're creating your settlement with pre-war items, that retrofuturism. But anyway, I digress. Nowadays, I think you'd have a hard time getting into those booths, because uh, we tend to be a little bit larger than they used to be back in the 50s and 60s.
Pizza started going down. Please, back we're larger than we used to be during the 80s and 90s. I mean, Pizza started going downhill when they started letting people open franchises that didn't look like this. You know something? That's
Yeah,
actually, if you watch the movie The Founder about the founding of McDonald's, they
yeah,
go into that, how there were different McDonald's franchisees that were not following the rules in the beginning. you
yeah,
know, we got fried chicken on the menu. That's not what this chain is about. You're supposed to.
right.
You put
And
lettuce
and
on the burger. You don't do that.
and and McDonald has been notoriously good at managing their franchises and saying you will lose your franchise if you don't do exactly as you're told.
Yes.
But not every franchise has been that way.
No. This I remember this as a kid. This was a big treat going to pizza. This place, Friendly's, was another one I used to love going to as a kid. I don't know if you have Friendly's in the Chicago
I
area.
don't remember Friendlies. The
Okay.
one I would usually there were the three that we would locally compare would be Pizza Hut, Little Caesars, and Domino's.
Okay.
Now, here's the distinction between each one of them. Little Caesars was pickup only. And there was no restaurant inside. You would come in, pick up your pizza, leave. They
Yeah.
were very commonly in strip malls. In fact, the Little Caesars that I worked at when I was in high school was exactly that style. Whereas Domino's was the same, how would you say it, storefront. They were in strip malls. They didn't have a sit down inside, but they did deliver. They focused on
Their
the delivery,
focusing was delivery. Yes. 30 minutes or less, which would
or it
have
was free.
accidents happen because of that. Yes.
Exactly. And Pizza Hut was, they had to find their own niche, and that's where the sit down restaurant area was. They did have pickup, just like any pizzeria did, but they also had come in, order, sit down. And honestly, this is going to sound terrible, but remember, I'm talking about high school kids, right?
Hmm.
This was date night. This is where you went on your date night because
It was inexpensive
it
and you
was
could afford it.
inexpensive, but it was still kind of nice, and you could still kind of sit down. Oh, there's a good high definition picture, and there you go. There's the menu. I remember these menus weren't just the paper menus like you would get at Little Caesars and Domino's. This was what you would expect from a sit down restaurant, those laminated vinyl things.
Full pizza, large pizza, $12 and change if you zoom in. Can you believe that?
Yep. Yep.
To be fair,
Well,
you can still get that from Pizza. Actually, they have a $9.99 deal.
I'm
Or
a little
$10 deal.
confused by the wheel of cheese on the left side. Why does it look like a big block of cheddar? I mean, I
I
don't
don't.
think they used cheddar in the pizza.
Was that for the salad bar? Maybe.
Maybe because they're also showing tomatoes and lettuce,
Yeah.
and
So
you
you
certainly
could.
didn't put lettuce on a pizza.
They have a children's menu. That's probably for the salad bar. And then you go to the salad bar, you get all these different toppings, whatever you want to put on your salad. They had pasta. I never had spaghetti there. I was always curious, but who's going to get spaghetti at the pizza? You're going to get a pizza.
Yeah, I may have, but if it was like any other pizzeria, spaghetti. I'm sorry. There's a line from Goodfellas where he says, what I really missed about being a good fellow, or I guess he said wise guy, was the life. I used to be able to go into any Italian restaurant in the city and get the best pasta marinara. If I ordered pasta marinara at a restaurant afterwards, you got egg noodles and ketchup. And honestly, that's exactly what it was like. It was the I never order pasta marinara at a restaurant of any kind because it was like egg noodles and ketchup. So I would certainly not be ordering it at a Pizza Hut, but I would totally love the pizza. Now, did I like the pizza from Pizza Hut better than say Johnny's, the local family pizzeria? by us. Absolutely not. If I wanted
No.
my favorite pizza, I'd go to Johnny's. I miss that place so much. But
Well, it's like going to Red Robin. You go there for a burger, but then, you also might want a McDonald's burger some day of the week, It's like, yeah.
right. Exactly. And this was, and I'm saying this was like fast food type pizza, but it wasn't bad. It wasn't, wasn't the best, but it wasn't bad. It
I
was the ambiance that you loved.
I would call this what we call now a mid-tier restaurant. Not quite
Sure.
fast food, but not quite full-on restaurant. Like you get the pizza, it'd come in a pan. The server would cut it for you and put a piece on everyone's plate. That was a nice touch. Ever came up with that back in the day? That was nice.
Yeah, and I just realized something about the concept of it being fast food. Pizza, in and of itself, doesn't lend itself well to fast food.
No.
If you order it, it's going to take you 20 minutes.
You have to order ahead at Domino's even. Come on.
Absolutely. Right now, the only reason was this because I made the comparison between a cake and a pie.
No, it's because I wanted some. I figured you would want some too.
My wife just cut me a piece of cheesecake, a keto friendly cheesecake.
Did you ever see the episode of Voyager where 7 of 9 is demonstrating how the replicator works? Is okay, give me a slice of New York cheesecake, and he hands the guy, what if that's poison? I'll eat it. And then she tries it and she says, I've never tried this before.
Yeah.
She made this squealing noise.
And she's like, wow. And she's like, that leotard wasn't going to be fitting her pretty soon. But what I was going to say though was that the way that, for example, Little Caesars does it now is it makes a bunch of pizzas in advance. They're literally sitting there in warmers. So you can go in and order their specialty pizza, their cheese pizza, their sausage pizza. It's up, it's ready. You can take it and go. Or you can call ahead, or you can call and have it ordered. That's how they do it. But or making pizzas in advance is incredibly risky because it can only sit around for so long, and then you got to pitch it. That's a lot of food,
Oh, yeah.
What if you make a whole bunch of pepperoni and people only want sausage?
Exactly.
That always happens when they get work pizza. I'll usually be the one eating the pepperoni because you got people at work that don't eat the pepperoni. Pan pizza.
Only time I ever had what's the furry fishes?
Anchovies.
Anchovies. Only time I ever had anchovies. It was a work pizza because someone ordered it and didn't pick it up as a prank. And when you work the number of hours I did in high school, I mean, I could almost have made it a full-time job if I wasn't also going to school. And I was starving. And I said, I'm taking a break and I'm gonna give it a try. And they said, you can always pick the fish off. And I'm like, I'm giving it a try. Okay. And I said to him, I'm like, you know what? You have no idea how good something tastes until you're truly, truly hungry.
How was it?
It was okay. It wasn't terrible.
I had
a little salty.
I had clam pizza once.
I never thought of that. I would totally try that.
Do you know what it tasted like? This is the most bizarre thing. It tasted like New England clam chowder in pizza form.
Oh my God, that sounds good.
It's not terrible, but if you look at this menu, look at the bottom, barbecue pizza. Troy or Netter, did either of you ever try Pizza Hut's barbecue beef pizza?
I didn't.
No.
I didn't. I knew. Okay. I heard of it. I had a lot of people suggest it to me. I just couldn't bring myself to do it.
You had the same reaction I had. I'm out with some new school friends I met, and they, one of the guys from Kansas, and he looks at me and he says, I'm dang control. We're getting a barbecue beef pizza. And I'm like, no, we're not. And he insisted. So we got it.
What did you think of it?
And I tried it, and it was amazing.
Was it good? Really?
It shouldn't work. It should not work. I love barbecue beef. I like pizza, but I like tuna fish and peanut butter. I'm not going to mix the two together. Okay. But for some reason, I don't know if it's because they used a special sauce on it. It actually worked. And I get the purists out there that thumb their nose and would not. I get it, but I can only say I have tried it. And when I saw, if I wouldn't usually get it on my own, but if I was at the pizza buffet, they might have one of those pizzas on the buffet. I would get another piece. It's pretty good.
Well, back when Netter and I first got married, the kids wanted taco pizza. And we've kind of gotten a little bit off the
It's
Pizza
okay.
Hut thing. It wasn't something that Pizza Hut had, but they had a particular pizza place that they like to go to. And I said, I'll give it a try. And I'm telling you, I really didn't want to because I'm like, this doesn't seem right. It had some cheddar cheese on it instead of mozzarella, obviously. Taco flavored ground beef,
Mm-hmm.
Lettuce, tomato.
lettuce,
Basically, it
tomato.
looked like a taco.
Yeah, lettuce. That one freaked me out. I
Was it
couldn't.
on a tortilla or something? Or
No, it was on a regular thin
okay.
crust pizza bread, but it was really good. I really did like it. I couldn't complain.
Oh.
I've had Alfredo pizzas.
No, what's funny is that particular pizza, we used to get it all the time when I was married to my ex, and it had tasted better. The one that we got the tried, I'm like, they changed something. It doesn't taste the same. It wasn't as taco-y flavoring as it used to. There was just, the flavor just wasn't there for me.
I don't know, man. I was amazed. Well, I had nothing to compare it to. I was like, you know what? I'm getting more and more of the opinion. Even when it's a bad pizza, it's still not bad, you know?
Yep.
Okay. That usually works. Trying to
Yeah.
think what the worst pizza I ever had was. That might be a topic for another time. but-
Look, I've never found a pizza I wouldn't eat. Look, I've told this story before, and I know it'll get me canceled, and people are gonna, unsubscribe. But I have had what's that? Pineapple and not ham, Canadian bacon. And
Oh,
well, I was starving at the time, and I ate it. I can't say I enjoyed it, but I sure ate it because I was starving.
Canadian bacon. Yeah, that's something else.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, we went to the village and I played Disco Duck on the jukebox. Okay, that's cool. I know they used to have arcade games at Pizza sometimes,
They had the table where it was you'd sit across from each other and you'd play against each other. I remember that. They had Pac-Man, Galaga. What was the one? It had like multiple games in the same.
Oh, the Namco 20th anniversary or something, I think it was called. Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at this though. The table. I'm covering the pizza because I'm busy eating it. But there's your pan pizza. You get a couple of Pepsi. Sometimes you get a pitcher of Pepsi, as I recall, and you just pour it in for the whole family. You get like a big old pitcher.
Those red cups. That was just part of it. Those red plastic cups. And okay, so look at the you got the salt and pepper shaker. You also had red chili flakes and Parmesan cheese.
Oh, I used to use the red chili flakes.
I'd use them both because I just felt like, you know what? They're here. You're meant to use them. And I did.
Did you ever see the movie The Bad News Bears? There's a scene in it, Pizza Hut, in that, which means it goes back that far.
That's true. It goes back to about the 70s, doesn't it? Yeah.
Let's go look though. There's your salad bar. There's a close up of it. Look at that. Beautiful.
I love the salad
thing.
bar. First salad bar I ever went to was at Sizzler. I loved it. And you could recreate the same salad, at any salad bar.
I think we used to get salads at Pizza. Maybe it was part of the deal. Like you got such off on the salad bar.
Okay. So here's where it comes down, right?
I remember getting those tomatoes. I remember picking up those tomatoes. Yeah.
So they had a lunch buffet from I don't know whatever time to whatever time, and when I was in high school during when we had short days, like a half day or whatever, I had two choices. I could go to Mr. Subs, which we always did during finals, or Pizza Hut. And we came to the Pizza Hut all the time when we had a short day. And you get, I think it was pizza by the slice and endless salad buffet for lunch.
Awesome.
That was the thing. I loved it.
You know what? We've been streaming for about almost over 6 years now, and I do not know your favorite salad dressing. Just shows how you don't know.
Garlic.
What do you like? Creamy garlic, Netter?
Creamy
Okay.
garlic.
So
I'm sorry, Caesar.
Oh,
she
Caesar.
likes Caesar.
Perfect.
Caesar.
See, no, a lot of people like Caesar. Yeah.
She says creamy garlic because I've gotten many different kinds of creamy garlic, and none of them are right. None of them are the kind. And I was Googling this. I looked it up. There are forums talking about this. Apparently, it's a Midwestern thing, a very specific restaurant style cream garlic that only certain restaurants and I've seen discussions of what goes into it. I haven't tried it yet. I missed that. I haven't had it since I was like 13, going with my family to the Brookfield restaurant. That's actually what it was
I
called.
actually misspoke. I meant to say creamy Caesar.
Yeah.
And I said garlic because I was reading something that said garlic in it.
Okay. but is that would be my favorite, but it's not something you can buy. Okay. You'd have to make it yourself.
Okay.
If I was going to go, and same thing, restaurant style blue cheese dressing. I love that too,
Okay.
but it's got to be restaurant style, not the stuff you buy in the grocery store. If I'm going to buy something in the grocery store, Catalina.
Catalina, is that the red stuff?
It's the red stuff. It's and I've come to realize it's when I go to the restaurant, I thought they had blue cheese, they had cream garlic, and they had French, but it wasn't French. French dressing, I've come to find, is different. What they called French in the restaurants was actually Catalina.
Yeah, you are correct, because I did try both as a kid, even by buying them, and they are different. You know, my favorite go-to always has been, especially in restaurants, Thousand Island. I'm a Thousand Island guy.
Thousand Island, for me, is not a salad dressing. It is what you put on your burger if you want to make if you want the, in quotes, special sauce.
Okay, I guess I never really had a Big Mac, so this is probably part of the problem here.
Actually, I don't know if Big Mac does. There was a local burger place. I don't know how far they went. I know they were in the Chicagoland area, called Yankee Doodle Hamburgers, and their special sauce literally was Thousand Island dressing. I love. Now,
do you remember the commercial for Big Macs? 2 all beef patties,
special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions on a sesame seed bun. Yes, I do remember that.
Ranch dressing with baked blue cheese. They used to make a store-bought dressing called, was it called creamy bacon or something? I forgot what it was. And that used to be my go-to until they stopped making it, because everything went to ranch. So after that, I started, and I know we'll just get ranch and put some bacon bits on it. It's not the same. Yeah. So then I started using Thousand Island, and don't tell me all it is mayo, ketchup, and sweet relish. I'm not buying that. Anyway, probably made in the Navy.
Well, if you're buying it in a bottle, you've also got partially hydrogenated soybean oil and a whole bunch of other things that you probably can't pronounce.
Well, these days I don't get it from the bottle as much. My go-to in the bottle nowadays is just plain old Italian.
Well, if you're going to do that, then you're better off mixing your own vinegar.
Yes, my dad used to do that. Yes,
and, oregano. But
all right, well, let's move on. Okay. Give
me
an inferiority complex about my taste. Okay, now of course, here we go. These breadsticks were the game changer. You remember these, don't you?
Well, I do.
They look better in the restaurant.
No. What I was going to say is not from Pizza Hut. I don't remember them at Pizza Hut. I remember the crazy sticks at Little Caesars.
Yeah, they got good ones.
I'm sure that Pizza Hut was similar, but I don't remember ordering them from Pizza Hut.
They would not come like this.
Is what's still around? Pizza Hut's still around?
Yes, it is, and there's going to be an article about that later on.
Well, it's around as a takeout place. You could still, but maybe not. That's not all. We'll get into that a little bit, but it would be a little fancier than this in the restaurant. It would come, I believe, in a black mesh basket with breadsticks, and it would come with the hot marinara sauce. It wasn't cold, and they would sprinkle a little bit of shaved Parmesan on top of that as well. And then you'd also have Parmesan on the sticks, and these were great. I loved Loved getting these in the restaurant. This is what you got in anticipation of the pizza. You get your breadsticks while you wait. This might have ended up subbing the salad bar after a while because I think I started going with these instead.
So
Love these.
there's actually story that goes into this. I don't know which fast food place started doing these soft breadsticks, whether it was Pizza Hut, Little Caesar, whatever. But this goes back to the old Italian. Definitely the bomb. What they would do is they would take the pizza dough that had sat around too long. They would roll, and I'm talking old fashioned, 40s, 50s, pizza places. They would roll it out, bake it, and dry it. And those were the breadsticks that they put on the table so that you could literally just endless.
Oh, the ones you crunch on. I get you. Like
Exactly,
the Stelladora
exactly.
breadsticks you'd buy in the store.
And somewhere along the way, and again, I think this is a Chicago thing, but if you told me with certainty it was New York, I would believe you. Someone said, well, wait a minute. Why do we have to go through the trouble of making the crispy breadsticks? Why don't we just, for that day's rush, instead of, putting these aside to make the crispy ones, we just put them through with butter and garlic, cut them on the other side, and bring them out to the table. And that's how this kind of got started. There is, I believe, a place for both the crispy on the table and by the order, fresh.
Didn't use the marinara sauce, melted cheese. They had breadsticks like that at there's a chain out in Washington State where they would have like breadsticks, but they had like melted mozzarella and garlic on them. They were different. They were actually pretty
Let me
good.
tell you something. Again, working at Little Caesar, at the end of the day, you get to the point where nobody else is ordering. We're throwing out all the bread or all the dough. And I'd be like, can I take some of the dough home with me? And they're like, we're literally throwing it out. So absolutely. And I took a whole bunch home, and my mother would make loaves of bread out of it. And that's when I started to gain weight because it was so good. So good.
It sounds good. Of course, there'd be promotions.
There you go.
Pizza. What is this? You get comic books with your pizza. Does this ring a bell to you?
It doesn't.
Wonder Woman, Batman, Superman. Holy cow!
Unfortunately, these comics that you probably got there were probably the ones that you would find in the free or nickel bin at the comic book store later when people were offloading them.
I think they were reproductions of older comics. I think that's what they were because it was. I think they were playing into people's nostalgia.
What? Yeah. That was exactly how the comics they probably still do this. So I remember I got a reprint of Action Comics #1 through Nestle Quick, and it was a faithful reproduction, except the back cover had an advert on it for Nestle Quick.
I remember that.
So I would not be surprised if this wasn't the same thing where they did reprints of classic standalone issues with a Pizza Hut ad at the end.
So here we go. And of course, when you would buy Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, the arcade game for the Nintendo Entertainment System, on the back of the manual is a free personal pan pizza. Get this, back in 1990, you would go out and buy a game and they give you a free pizza. Now you go out and you buy a game, they don't even give you the game.
Right. You're right. You're not wrong.
Oh, how we have fallen. How much we have fallen. But yeah, those personal pan pizzas were a big deal to the kids. I didn't think they were all that. I prefer the bigger ones.
See, I'm the type, okay. I wasn't obviously I wasn't a Nintendo guy, and I wasn't a huge Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles fan. But if I was, I'm probably the type who wouldn't have used that coupon, because I probably would have said, I'll just go buy a pizza. I want to keep this with my comic book and my cartridge, because collector.
Well, you ruin the manual by cutting that coupon off too.
Right, exactly.
Funny enough, I have bought a used copy of this since, and like many people, I had to piecemeal it together by getting the manual separately. The manual I got did not have this coupon, so it must have been a later printing. They famously released a set of DC superhero reprint comics featuring Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman, often tied to the Super Friends era. So this was in 1977 when they had those comics out. Okay.
Yeah.
1993,
if you don't mind, I do want to bring up a very recent one from Lynn. Did I hit the wrong one?
No, go ahead. I think I did.
There we go. I've never seen DC repros like that, but I have Incredible Hulk #1 and Amazing Fantasy #15 repros from the late 80s and early 90s. Don't be mistaken, okay? There are DC reprints that they've done for many different reasons that are faithful reprints. Obviously, on the inside, they date, originally printed, 1932, reprint date, whatever year. I'm talking about special promotional ones, and I'm guessing if you went to your local comic book store to the bargain bin and go and thumb through it, you'll find one or two. You will.
Yeah. Now, I guess Raphael believes there's like pizza. There's no such thing as bad sacks. It's a joke I made.
I like that. Very good. It took me a second.
I was unawares of this at the time, but I've learned about this posthumously that the Turtles were having a tour where they were in a band and they toured the country and they put out an album of pop music.
Yes. Yes,
supposed to be between the second and third movie. They showed up on Oprah one time. It was the funniest thing.
That is cool. That is absolutely cool. I love it.
Yeah, and look at this. You get a radical new audio cassette, an official concert tour guide, and autograph poster for $3.99 with any excellent pizza meal. I think that's funny cool. Seeing them play the sax. I don't
know. Pizza Hut, I don't know if you have any slides for it or anything, but I know they had cups and glasses promotions too.
No, I know they did stuff. They did tapes for the X-Men cartoon when it came out. You got a free X-Men tape. Yeah, I know. Geek Flag Nate was mentioning the X-Men collector's edition. I know they did cups though. That of course is a picture of the pizza buffet. This is sort of where I'm ending because that was the last big thing I remember doing before.
So this was something that. So what I was talking about with the endless salad bar. They kind of, at least the one near me when I was in high school, they did have an endless pizza buffet.
Yeah.
But they didn't have it out like this. The salad bar was still there. So you had endless salad bar. If you wanted another piece of pizza, you'd have to go up to them and say, can I get a slice of sausage and a slice of pepperoni or something like that? And that's how they did it. And they kind of then transitioned into this kind of a buffet. I think this was, somebody correct me if I'm wrong, because the memory gets really, really fuzzy as you look back. But I'm wondering if this wasn't to like compete with CC's.
Maybe. I forgot. Yeah, the best pizza bargain, CC's Pizza. I think I went there once. It was okay. Yeah.
Well, the nice thing about CC, well, also I'll tell you something else. I'm looking at these pizzas, and those were nice, thick, doughy breads. You go to CC's, and they're really, really thin. But the nice thing about CC's is you could literally try a little of everything.
They had dessert pizza there too. I think they had dessert pizza at Pizza Hut also, though. It'd be like an apple pie pizza on thin crust, I think.
I don't do sweet the way I used to, so I'm getting a little nauseated.
I know, like when I used to work at Lou Malnati's a million years ago, they used to have a chocolate chip pizza. So it was a personal pan size, and it was basically a big cookie.
That kind of makes sense. I could kind of see that. Oh, darn, that sounds good. I could totally make one of those. And welcome, Brian, that 70s rock fan. So good to see you, my friend. Finally, a live version of the movie Grumpy Old Men. Well, every Sunday at 8 Central, 9 Eastern. Yes.
Excuse me, I am the Geezette.
Yeah, yes. But you're also not grumpy, so
we didn't introduce. I guess she's the Anne Margaret of that, or the Sophie Loren.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely no. I go with Anne Margaret. Yes,
I have to say
there's a very Anne Margaret vibe that comes from Netter. There's no doubt about it.
I have to say though, we start out these streams trying not to be grumpy, which is why we do the good old days, and then we get grumpy when we cover the news.
And we
Pizza.
try to end on a high note too. So I mean, just to be fair.
I had this.
I
and
like that
it's-
Brian says Netter is Anne Margaret. Yes, yes, she is.
All right, but that's it for Pizza Hut. But like I said, we may have some just another reminder of what we lost, but maybe what we'll get back. And we'll have a news story at the end of the night because we try to end on a high note. And unfortunately, we're starting on a really, really low note tonight. And this, of course, broke last Sunday. Hayden Panettiere, I'm saying her last name right, correct, has passed away.
I don't know how she pronounced it. If you want to get real technical with the Italian, it's Panettiere, but don't worry about it. I'm not sure that's how she pronounced it.
This was, of course, last Sunday. Source close to Hayden tells TMZ she recently had been complaining about back pain in the past year. Hayden Panettiere, best known for roles in Heroes and Nashville, has died at age 36. TMZ has learned that's way too young. Mm-hmm. Sources with direct knowledge tell TMZ Hayden passed away earlier on Sunday. We were told our on-again, off-again boyfriend Brian Hirkison flew from Los Angeles to the South on Saturday. Stories tell us Brian's family is aware. It's a profound sadness that we share the tragic passing of our beloved Hayden. She was an incredible light and a force of nature who brought immeasurable love and joy to all who knew her and to the millions who watched her on screen, her rep said to ABC News. Hayden became a household name as a child actress before landing her breakout role as cheerleader Claire Bennett on NBC's Heroes. She later starred as country singer Juliet Barnes on Nashville, earning multiple award nominations for her performance. I never watched Nashville. I heard it was a good show. I did watch Heroes.
Yes.
Which had a strong start until they did too much with time travel.
Yeah,
and as Troy says, time travel, you have to be very careful with it in your storytelling.
And this is what I said when I first saw it. Everybody was sharing this with me for Geeky Geezers, and I was like, guys, I already know. I saw it. It was on all of my feeds because I reshared it, and I said, we failed to save the cheerleader. The world is screwed now.
Yeah, I picked this look of hers because it reminds me of the look she was sporting in the movie Scream 4.
Oh, right. Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen Scream 4. I really like this look on her. She looks golden, basically.
Yeah.
I'm really sad that she is no longer with us. And I don't know if there is anything concrete since then. Do we have a reason for her death?
There were updates. I was going to share them with you, but I didn't think you'd want to spend this much time on.
We don't have to spend that much time.
There was an update that the DEA has gotten involved in the investigation.
Okay.
There's also come out that she was on a list of prescription pharmaceuticals.
Okay.
And there's a lot of people currently drawing comparisons to let's just say someone else who's in the news right now, not for being a personality, but for a legal case that's happening right now, who has a whole litany of psychoactive pharmaceuticals that they were prescribed. And the problem with such drugs and whether or not they're good for you in the first place and how they interact with each other. So,
beautiful woman, though. I am sad to see her go.
Yeah.
I always wish I'd seen her more things. She was actually in the motion captured for the game Until Dawn for PlayStation. If any of you have ever played,
and
that.
I love the fact that they actually make the character. Does she do the voice for it too? Because
yes,
I swear to you, I haven't played the game myself, but I have watched playthroughs of it. Honestly, I don't need to play the game if I've seen a good playthrough of it. And I swear to you, I'm watching it and I'm going, my gosh, that looks. And I think even Netter said, "Is that the cheerleader?" And I'm like,
no, it's her.
I said, it sure sounds and looks like her. I said, they must have been inspired by her. Then I looked it up and I was like, yeah, she's the one that they, literally did all the capture for, So.
Well, sometimes they use the actual actor, and then other times they make the character look sort of like the actor, which was what they did when they changed the way Spider-Man looks in those new PlayStation Spider-Man games. Instead of going with his original look, which I liked, which made him look like a guy in his mid-20s, which is what he is in those games, instead they made him look like Tom Holland. but not quite Tom Holland. And that really bugged me that they changed his look. I don't know why they did that. Luckily, my physical copy of the game has the old version on it. But anyway,
Well,
yes,
and I mean, I guess you could say the same thing about what is it? I'm trying to remember the video. I don't remember my video. Oh, God of War. Deborah Ann Woll playing in God of War. Who it kind of sort of looks like her, but like if she was ugly and a man, that's just saying.
Well, that's because they always have to make actors look worse in some of the modern games, which really
Yes,
bothers me.
exactly.
And like I saw the actress that played Dina in Last of Us Part 2, and she's actually rather fetching in real life, and they removed her curves for the game, which really bothered me. And I don't get it. Hayden Panettiere as Sam Malek, Josh Brolin, Dalton Mike. Okay, I got you. Okay, cool. I'm sad she's no longer with us. This is not good. I don't. They Hollywood just chews people up and spits them out. I'm fed up with it.
I'm telling you that there's nothing that has gripped anyone but what is common to man, and being in Hollywood is it's a cesspool, and it's literally killing people. Our pharmaceutical companies and the way we manage health in this country is killing people. For those of you that keep trusting the science, well, that's like trusting the leap off a tall building. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Now we're on to gaming news. Hacker targets Grand Theft Auto 6, an apparent leak. This, of course, was the big gaming story of the week. Did you hear about this?
I couldn't help but hear about it. I mean, even if I was just paying attention to stock tickers, everyone was talking about it.
Yeah, the gaming world has been rattled by what appears to be a major leak of the highly anticipated Grand Theft Auto 6, with the alleged hacker warning other publishers that no one is safe from similar breaches. Rockstar Games, the company behind the blockbuster GTA franchise, is known for tightly guarding unreleased material, but this week multiple gameplay clips and what appears to be the entire Grand Theft Auto 6 map surfaced online. Rockstar and Take-Two Interactive, its parent company, did not immediately respond to requests for comment. Neither has issued a public statement regarding the purported hack. In recent days, multiple social media posts that have shared the apparent leaks have been removed from platforms, including X and Reddit. Well, we will not be talking about what was leaked. We're just telling you that it was leaked. Take-Two filed subpoenas petitioning Microsoft and Discord with the Southern District Court of New York on Thursday, asking them to release of any records related to online accounts involved in posting and sharing levels. Both companies have until September 4th to provide the records, according to the petition for the subpoena, which was first reported by the gaming outlet Kotaku. The hacker, an individual or group calling itself CyberLeak, framed the security breach as a protest against the gaming industry shift toward all digital releases. A trend that has sparked backlash among players. But not us. We love that. Publishers sell licenses and call them purchases. They ship unfinished games and call them living services. They lock content on discs and call it DLC. They do that. Yeah. CyberLeak wrote in a public post on Thursday, they kill games and keep the money. Every year, anti-consumerist tightens its grip, and every year gamers get less for what they pay. Yikes.
Yeah. So this is another one of those situations where you have to say, I understand why they did it, but I don't think it's going to have the impact they hoped that it would. What this is actually doing is the exact opposite, because these corporations will always learn the wrong lesson from everything. The lesson I believe that the companies are going to take from this is, well, look what we have to do. We can't allow there to be any way for them to pirate our games. We have to have 100% authentication, no matter what. Even if you have it resident on your hard drive, you must always have an internet uplink in order to play your game, so you can prove that you own it, so that you can play it.
How did he get his hands on it, though?
A lot of speculation that it was someone inside the company.
Because when the Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom leaked, it was from somebody getting their hands on a physical copy of the game before it was meant to be released to market, and then it got leaked online. But that was
No,
someone who
here's the
got
other
but there is
underlying
no
message.
physical copy of Grand Theft Auto 6.
This
They're
is
not
the
making it.
other underlying message that I've been trying to get across to everybody. If it exists, it can be turned into physical media. If you can transmit a signal, it can be intercepted, it can be copied, it can be saved in a hard format. So this is why I always say, own physical media. If there is no physical media to own, make your own physical media. And this is going to become more and more common as you have more and more people using the cloud and all this other, non-physical, internet stuff. Well, that just makes it that much easier for pirates to get in, hack you, take the thing, and disseminate it. You're actually making it easier for the hackers. Congratulations. Yeah. We'll talk more about this with movies, too.
Take-Two, yes, we'll get there. Take-Two Interactive stock plummeted on Wednesday amid the chaos. Okay, that's not good. I'm surprised. Let's be absolutely clear, this is not a cash grab, the hackers stated. CyberClaim's donations are meant to fundraise. A secret project specifies which cannot reveal yet. Well, what are these donations for? Are they getting access to what the game looks like, or are they getting access to the actual game?
I don't know. Maybe it's donations to this poor company that lost so much money over this hacking. We should feel sorry for them and donate to them. That's what it's for.
Well, what are you saying? This is like on Ghost in the Shell, where there's the Laughing Man and the Laughing Man conspiracy, which are the evil government people that the Laughing Man was protesting against with his hacking. Instead, the government pretends they're the Laughing Man to do more heinous stuff. Never mind. That was from Ghost in the Shell. Anyway, though, let's move on to this is so bizarre. Netflix is doing a thing on their channel for this game. It's not going to be on Netflix. It's a game. But this is from the article, Grand Theft Auto 6. Apparently, though, the pre-orders turning into massive business for Rockstar Games. And new pre-order data shows just how much early buyers are willing to spend on the game. According to estimates from Sensor Tower's Video Game Insights, Grand Theft Auto 6 has reached about 4.3 million pre-orders, with an unusually large 89% of buyers opting for the $99.99 Ultimate Edition instead of the $79.99 Standard Edition. And
this is why I say that you have enabled them to get away with it, so stop bitching about it. You keep feeding this beast and then complaining that it keeps coming back for more. You are idiots.
You guys do realize that if it's an only digital release, you don't have to pre-order it. You're not getting anything for pre-ordering it. You can just wait till it releases and get it then if you even still want to buy it. I don't understand this, but yes.
No, Boomer, they don't understand it because they are that stupid.
This is what I was saying earlier. I'm worried about the whole digital thing game becoming a reality, because if the biggest game of all time is digital only, then it sends a message to the companies, we don't have to make physical copies anymore.
Yep.
I'm begging you guys to not pre-order this thing, to hold off and wait, and maybe in a year they'll release a physical copy. But whatever, they're not going to do it. They're not going to do it. And I don't have a dog in this hunt. I don't have anything that could even play this game. I couldn't get this game if I wanted to. So I just and the fact is, people are not only that, but they're paying for the $100 edition.
What means? Comes in this Ultimate Edition that doesn't come in the other?
I don't know. Extra stuff, like maybe more vehicles, or I don't know. Maybe a rubber ducky costume that your character can run around in. I don't know what it is.
So here's the other thing I wanted to say about this. An extended look on Netflix. They are literally streaming a commercial for this damn game on the streaming service that you're paying a monthly service fee for. They're charging you to watch a effing commercial. I'm telling you, gamers, you are idiots. You really are.
Not all gamers, but well, maybe. I don't know, man. I don't know
gamers that gave them 14 million or however many in sales.
I'm not going to say I never buy a digital game, but I don't spend $100 on a digital game. That's insanity. It's like I don't even spend $50
I also
on
don't
digital
pre-order
games.
anything anymore. I don't pre-order anything anymore.
People, this is FOMO. This is FOMO. They just want to hop on and live in this virtual world.
You know how you get over FOMO? By realizing that if you do miss out, you won't be missing a thing. You can live without it. You don't need it. And you know what? You actually feel less stress.
Yes. All right. Anyway, I don't know if our chat even cares about this because they're not responding, so we'll move on.
Yeah, there's nobody saying, "Oh no, I want this. I got a pre-order already in." No, because we have intelligent people in our chat here.
Okay. Now we move into game studios I really don't care about, and the people I want to get, the studios I want to see gutted don't get gutted, and the studios I like it get gutted. But this is where we are right now. We could have been playing Intergalactic Heretic Prophet by now, or at least been much closer to its release, had Naughty Dog not spent years working on The Last of Us Online because they wanted to turn The Last of Us into a live service game. Now, even though I'm not a fan of that series, I'll admit turning that into a live service game makes no sense because it's like a standalone single-player narrative game, like in a pseudo-zombie apocalyptic type
right.
thing. It just in his latest video, Jason Schreier talks about Sony's problems with live service games and how badly that period went. And even though the company still wants to make this strategy work, it's not working. Okay. He said a lot of people at Naughty Dog are working on the game. I think there's a belief out there that it was just kind of a side project while most people were working on Intergalactic. No, the opposite is true. Intergalactic did not have the majority of staff until Last of Us Online was canceled. So they didn't have enough people working on this other game to get it done. And apparently the development of Last of Us Online cost hundreds of millions to Naughty Dog before it was canceled. What are they doing?
And yet I don't hear anything about them letting all these people go.
Well, to be fair, in this case, though, I mean, I don't like Naughty Dog, but this is also management trying to do these live service games that they didn't even end up producing, and they lost hundreds of millions of dollars on it.
So it's not just gamers that are stupid; it's also shareholders that are stupid.
Yeah. Okay. Moving on to Insomniac. Hold on, let me get the article. Insomniac developer Wolverine PlayStation 5 criticism is a relentless onslaught. Marvel's Wolverine PlayStation 5 is a month from launch, and the internet has decided it is a joke. Insomniac's community director has had enough. James Stevenson, Insomniac's director of community and marketing, posted on X on Friday, said the platform's algorithm has made him rethink whether developers should engage there at all. Oh, no. I think the wild way this algorithm amplifies and forces negativity upon you has me reconsidering my philosophy on telling developers to post here. It's a relentless onslaught that I cannot believe is good for anyone's mental health nor representative. Why is Wolverine PlayStation 5 getting so much criticism? Mockery began in earnest after the preview embargo lifted on Thursday. The biggest clip compares Wolverine's Sentinel boss fight to a sequence from the PlayStation 2 game Ben 10 Protector of Earth. 50,000 likes in its original Spanish post, another 70,000 likes for its English but caption God tier slander. This is someone from a Spanish speaking country that did this post too. The second shows 15 seconds of Logan running forward while someone holds a DualSense analog stick up. A third overlay controller inputs to show the player mashing R2. Yeah, because it's probably not that good of a game.
Yep.
It's probably has fancy graphics, except they can't make Jean Grey look good. Though she's one of the best looking women in Marvel, I don't understand this.
Yep.
And I think this is a Sweet Baby Inc. Coded game as well. I could be wrong, but I think they worked on Spider-Man 2, so they're probably involved in this one too.
Yep.
So yeah, my advice to this developer: if you can't take the heat, get out of the kitchen. You know how you stop criticism in the gaming community? Just make a good game. You know,
yes, that would be nice.
I mean, I don't know. Moving on. They get rid of id, and yet Insomniac is still around. Oh, and this I didn't like. I know Midnight's Edge just covered this. A trailer for the Golden Axe animated series is full of self-referencing jokes. Do I need to read the article? Sega. You're a game company. Make
Yeah.
a game. Make a Golden Axe game. Apparently, you previewed one years ago that we've not seen, but we get a self-referential joke of a game which none of the Zoomers even know what it is because it's so old. Because you've never done a new Golden Axe game since then. You can't even buy it anymore. They took it off they took the Sega collections off of all the eShops for some reason because they're not a retro company. But we get this movie, this show, which has self-referential humor on it.
Yep.
Why do they keep trying to make Gene Logan a thing? They're not a thing. Well, oh, that's right.
Well,
that's
and here's the other thing. Not understanding it. I feel like I'm being so redundant. They don't understand their audience. They don't know who their audience is, and not realize, like you said, who playing games today even knows what Golden Axe is anymore. You know, you're making jokes by being self-referential for only a small handful of boomers that would get it. Everyone else would be like, "What is this?"
Don't get me wrong. I like Golden Axe. I still do, but it's an old game.
Yeah.
That they haven't done a proper sequel to. They never even did a home console port of the sequel, Revenge of Death Adder.
Yeah.
But it's one of these. Sega's reviving several of its old games. The franchise's new entree, the show, which announced in 2024 debut September 16th, and the trailers out. You know what would have been funny if they just did it straight. They just made it like a Frank Frazetta, Conan the Barbarian inspired medieval fantasy show, and just made it a straight up serious show instead of having to make everything a comedy. Having to make everything Teen Titans Go. Apparently, the series is created by the guy who created Star Trek Lower Decks and one of the writers of American Dad. It was originally supposed to air on Comedy Central, but it'll stream on Paramount Plus instead. That means I think they're throwing it on Paramount Plus to die.
Yeah.
But there we go. I don't care. I watched this trailer and I'm no. Okay, moving on. I don't know if I can talk about this. I don't want to get a strike on my channel, but this is a show that's on HBO, which is really just True Detective Season 5, okay? Except this time it involves intergalactic cops, all right? That might be green, but this is True Detective Season 5, and they just threw Green Lantern on it. I know that's what this is.
They didn't even throw the green on it. It's just Lantern.
No. Tuesday night.
I got into it with somebody on another post. I just went off on why is James Gunn even still allowed to be in charge of anything over there? And he goes, "You realize he didn't have anything to do with it." I said, "You do realize he's in charge of the entire DC brand at Warner Brothers, right?
You know,
you do understand that he said that he had no oversight and he can do whatever he wants, right? You do understand that, yes, this is him, whether he wrote and directed it or not. He's still responsible."
Whether or not I like Kevin Feige, I'll admit he's the one in charge of Marvel at the moment. Okay,
right.
But James Gunn apparently is only in charge of Superman and Superman Man of Tomorrow, and maybe that also.
Except for when he said that wasn't the case. When he said he was in charge of the whole thing. See, that's the other thing. You don't take it up with me. Take it up with James Gunn himself, right? Who said this. Then I said, so if it's not him, it's the writers, the ones that said that green was stupid. Well, they didn't mean that the Green Lanterns was stupid. They just meant green. I said, well, you know what? You're absolutely right. Superman is stupid. They should have just called it Man. Although that might have gotten it confused with that stupid Batman. That should also just be called Man. But then you don't know if we mean, grimdark man or primary colors man that flies.
I wonder if this is one of the reasons I don't like a lot of this new stuff. Is it's always grimdark.
Yeah.
Whereas superheroes are supposed to give you hope.
Yeah.
Even Batman, the Dark Knight and all that, it's supposed to give you hope.
Right.
Okay.
Nate says James Gunn didn't understand the assignment. He just got a different assignment than the one you think he did. He didn't get the assignment from Warner Brothers. He got the assignment from the talking heads that are pushing neo-Marxist agendas.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's executing that plan really well.
I have a question. Because we are going to be talking about this more on Friday. We're going to get full on into the modern state of DC. And I'm just I I don't understand how people say, oh, this is a different thing being done by different people. This how sorry, uh John Stewart, Green Lantern in this show will be in the next Superman movie.
Right.
It's connected. I'm sorry.
This is the James Gunn verse. However you want to look at it. See, and this is why I love and get frustrated by Lynn Green. She says, so here's my pitch. A police procedural, arms dealers on Vega 9, leading to the Durlands or the Dominators. I call it Green Lantern Corps. You know, that's a brilliant idea. That what's frustrating about that is it'll never happen because it's a brilliant idea.
I watched the Critical Drinkers coverage of this first episode, right? And there's a part in the show where, of course, there's this evil, like I guess, country hillbilly type who doesn't like the illegal aliens on Earth, but like, of course, from other planets, right?
Right.
And I'm thinking, I know this was a season for True Detective season 5, but it's about, from other countries instead of other planets. And they just, I know what they're doing here. They think they're so smart and they can pull this over my eyes and say, hey, no, it's a Green Lantern show. See, you got them zipping around in the sky for very briefly, but you're not going to get to see too much of it. It's going to be about them hanging out in bars and just, I can't stand it. But okay, but that's not what the story is. The story is, of course, that Puck investigates Warner Brothers Discovery Lantern's DMCA strike on Cosmic Book News. And we have both. We have 2 articles on this. I'm just going to try to give you a brief overview. But yeah, this was the piece around the headline: "The war on spoilers goes nuclear" in the same issue as Disney's little. I'm sorry. Hold on. Sorry, I lost my spot. Give me one moment here. Let me get back up.
We're having all kinds of problems tonight, aren't we?
Sorry, I heard talk of Disney. Okay. Tuesday night's edition of What I'm Hearing Now, Matthew Belloni's Hollywood Newsletter, handed its main feature to legal columnist Eric Gardner, and Gardner spent all of it on Warner Brothers Discovery's copyright campaign against the site. The piece runs under the headline, "The War on Spoilers Goes Nuclear," in the same issue as Disney's new lawsuit against the FCC and Ari Emanuel's wins over the Endeavor shareholder case. Gardner didn't take our word for anything. He obtained the notices, read them, and landed where we landed on July 10th. Warner Brothers Discovery was not chasing a leaked clip or a misused image. It was going after people talking about what happens in episode 1. His assessment of the strategy, Warner's is playing with fire. So basically, people who saw the first episode as it aired, correctly? Am I correct?
Yep.
Not like they got it early before it aired. They're just talking about it as it aired, and they're talking about what happens in the episode. And then if you talk about what happened in the episode of something that has aired, they will come after your channel.
And they are trying to treat the plot of their story as if it's copywritten. And I'm sorry, you know what's copywritten is the show itself, the script itself. But us talking about it, you cannot copyright that. That's called the First Amendment. And if you decide to shut down a commercial reporting company, whether it's a online outlet or a broadcast news outlet, and cause them to lose funds as a result, you disrupt their business. That's called a tort in the law, and that's a lawsuit. Someone's going to bring a lawsuit if you keep this stuff up, people. Oh, wait a minute. It's already happening.
Why? Okay, YouTuber Andrew Sosa is suing Warner Brothers Discovery, alleging that the studio used the DMCA to bury his negative review of the Batman. We covered that on June 10th. In May, U.S. Judge William Ulrich refused to throw out Sosa's misrepresentation claim, found that the speed of the takedown, WBD's latter withdrawal of it, and the apparent lack of any movie footage plausibly pointed to bad faith, and found discovery was needed in how Warner Brothers Discovery reviews notices before it files them. That ruling came down weeks before the Lantern strikes. A federal judge has just put Warner Brothers Discovery's takedown practice under a microscope, and Warner Brothers Discovery responded by swearing out a fresh round of notices over a rumor. I want them gone. I really do.
I do too.
I
I'm telling you, our legal system is, when used correctly, is the solution, right? We have a legal system to be the weapon you use against people trying to use the law against you. You have recourse. You got to sue. That's what it takes. Unfortunately, we have made it so that it is so expensive to exercise that right. The process is the punishment, but when it starts happening on bigger and bigger scales, these bigger and bigger companies go, yeah, we're suing,
yeah.
you know? And sometimes even that's not enough. It takes a big news outlet to cover the news footage about that legal argument, so that you are not just going to court, a legal court, you're also going to the court of public opinion, which can be far more, and I would argue absolutely is far more powerful than any legal institution. Salute to you, Clue Studio. Thank you so much for being here. And I want to thank everybody for being here, by the way, here on Age of Boomers channel. He needs the watch time. So after you finish watching here, make sure you go and check out some other videos on his channel as well. Let's get him up and running.
Fortunately, we're going to be having some in remembrances this week too. Oh man, Hayden. Anyway, yeah. Warner Brothers Discovery. Okay, and also of course the WWE Pro writes about this as well. Warner Discovery's controversial attempt to suppress discussion of Lantern spoilers is receiving new scrutiny from one of Hollywood's industry's publication. Yeah, Puck. We just discussed that. It's basically the same thing, but I don't know. The controversy began before Relentless premiere when Cosmic Book News reported a major development involving Hal Jordan. Warner Brothers subsequently submitted takedown notices affecting the outlet's accounts on X, YouTube, and Facebook. As was previously reported, the Target 67 video reportedly featured Matt McGlone speaking directly to the camera. It did not contain leaked footage from the series. The only studio owned. Okay, so they didn't show the footage. He just talked about what they had heard coming down.
Yeah.
This was, of course, the spoilers are out now for what has happened. And I don't know if we should mention them here. Maybe we'll mention them on Friday, huh?
Yeah, possibly. Very possibly, yeah.
Here's what I want to say, though. Everything I've seen about this show, it's humiliating Hal Jordan. It's probably also going to humiliate Jon Stewart. I like both of these characters, and I don't.
This is what I said on this thing. I said, this is another example of them trying, because the argument that people come back with is, well, they didn't really kill him off. They're going to bring him back because they're going to do the Darkest Night storyline. And I'm like, that is as stupid as James Gunn, Zack Snyder doing the Dark Knight Returns for the first meeting of Superman and Batman. You haven't earned it. You don't kill off Hal Jordan after 1 hour in your new universe. Nobody knows who he is or cares about him, let alone would they care that he died.
Why? Warner Brothers doesn't understand that the Green Lantern could be like their Star Wars, right? Or their Star Trek. It's a science fiction superhero.
Or Guardians of the Galaxy to a certain degree.
Well, here's the thing. In Guardians of the Galaxy, you have a talking raccoon. And, I always made a point, at least when Marvel was at its peak, that Marvel movies were not embarrassed of their source material, whereas DC felt like it was embarrassed of its source material. Whereas with DC, you have one of the lanterns as a squirrel. And in this one, he says it's an effing squirrel. Can I see the squirrel and talk and see it talk? That'd be fun. Instead, we're seeing mopey middle-aged man drinking in a bar who the Ring probably would have left a long time ago.
Right. Exactly.
Except that's not how the Ring apparently works in this universe.
Apparently not.
The Ring is sentient, isn't it? It chooses its partner.
Yes.
I don't understand. We'll talk about it Friday, and maybe we'll have an update on these takedowns. Anything left to say on this?
Nope.
Okay.
My blood pressure's going up.
Let's move on. This was funny. I wish I'd been paying attention. I could have saw a brand new movie.
Oh God, yeah.
Amazon is in choppy waters after accidentally leaking Jason Statham's latest big budget action pick Mutiny on its Prime Video service days before the movie is released in theaters. Deadline understands that the movie was up for a matter of hours earlier this week after a mistake led to it being posted on Prime's product detail page that typically shows trailers. Some subscribers couldn't believe they were watching. One posted X, I'm watching Jason Statham new movie Mutiny stream on Amazon for free right now. This has to be a huge mistake, right? My theater has showtime starting this week. It's called Day and Date, pal. Jason Killer pioneered that. He's
right,
fired from Warner Media a while ago because Warner Brothers run by idiots. But anyway, another user said someone is getting fired over at Amazon. They uploaded Jason Statham's new movie Mutiny on a Prime a day before it hit theaters. Someone is getting fired over at Amazon. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Lionsgate is going to be furious. Lionsgate is releasing the action thriller this weekend in U.S. theaters and is one of a number of buyers understood to be very unimpressed. According to multiple sources close to the project, the film is already being pirated in different territories because they ripped it off.
Yeah.
That's a problem for Lionsgate, potentially even bigger problem for international buyers, some of whom aren't releasing until later in the year. We hear the film opened well in France and the Middle East yesterday before the leak snafu came to light. Overseas distributors like Lionsgate had put millions into acquiring the film and marketing it. It's a $50 million plus net movie. Lionsgate is understood to have paid 8 figures for it. We hear some cinema chains are also up in arms. Now in question we're hearing from those close to the movie is what Amazon, a premium video on demand partner on the pick, can or will do to make good. This is an unprecedented situation. One fuming international buyer told us it's a major F up. I've never been in this situation before. What's clear is that this is a multi-million-dollar problem for Amazon, and buyers will expect a check to be written to help resolve this. This is a disaster.
Yeah.
What if they had AI responsible for all this?
And this is exactly what I was talking about. When you have these digital formats that you're using to communicate your films and your games and your TV shows and whatever all over the place, don't fool yourself into believing that they're secure. Hell, we're blaming Russian hackers for hacking our elections, for crying out loud. You think that your media is safe? No. Hell, it can even be lost permanently. Thank you, PBS, for teaching us that again.
My Mutiny review will be tomorrow night. How did you watch it, Stephen?
There
Did you
go.
get a 5-finger discount putting on your Prime? No, I'm kidding. I'm not. He'll never admit it. He'd never admit that anyway, right?
Right, exactly.
This is a disaster. This is a brand new movie, theatrical film, and now it's and people ripped it off and are now probably posting it everywhere online. I don't understand this. It's the first time a streamer's gotten hot water for lack safety of a movie. Netflix is currently being sued for $105 million after a hard drive of an unreleased Nicolas Cage movie, the World War II thriller Fortitude.
Mm-hmm.
How did this happen, though? Where are the checks to make sure this doesn't happen?
Oh, they probably just outsourced it to AI.
Or another country, but we won't go
Possibly.
there. Okay, moving on. This probably doesn't interest you, but I don't know. I thought maybe this would spur your interest because Miami Vice, they're doing a movie.
I'm not interested.
Miami Vice 85 sets Camilla Morone to star. Universal and Joseph Kosinski's Miami Vice 85 is adding more star power to its growing ensemble as Camilla Morone is set to co-star opposite Michael B. Jordan and Austin Butler. Kosinski will direct the latest feature adaptation of the classic 80s crime series, which has a script by Dan Gilroy. Alden Ehrenreich and Whitney Peak have joined the cast. So he's the one that played Han Solo in that Solo movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the one that lost money. He's a big draw, isn't he?
Okay. Did you see the other Miami Vice movie they did with Colin Farrell in it years ago?
No, I wasn't interested.
It was not good.
I'm really not interested in remakes. I'm really not.
Okay. I thought this one might be interesting. It looks like they're setting it in the period of the show, though. But okay. But anyway, moving on. We got enough to cover tonight. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. Only 2 more stories, and then we're done. This might brighten your mood. Doctor Who's being replaced with another show.
Yes. What did I say about not liking remakes?
Doctor Who is officially getting replaced by a new British sci-fi series. Makiyoshi Ekibiri is a news writer for Collider. Okay, he's the one that wrote this. He is okay. So, Lord by the. Give me a moment here. Okay. For decades, generation after generation has grown up with Doctor Who, making the BBC institution one of Britain's most beloved sci-fi staples. But after years of shakeups, the end of the Disney Plus partnership, and the cancellation of its planned 2026 Christmas special, the TARDIS has been left parked indefinitely while the BBC insists Doctor Who isn't canceled. Its future remains uncertain, leaving a sizable void in British television. Fortunately, British sci-fi may already have the perfect replacement waiting in the wings. Nearly 50 years after it first aired, Blake 7 is reportedly being rebooted under the guidance of Doctor Who and Last of Us director Peter Hoare, bringing Terry Nation's cult classic back into the spotlight. The original series followed a band of rebels, criminals, and political dissidents battling the totalitarian Terran Federation. It gave audiences a very different kind of space adventure, one that was darker, grittier, and far more morally complicated than the Doctor's travels through space and time. That distinction could be exactly why Blake 7's reboot is the show British sci-fi fans need right now. Doctor Who may still technically have another regeneration ahead of it, but until the TARDIS lands again, Blake 7 has a chance to give audiences something equally familiar. The original Blake 7 ended in a rather bleak finale back in 1981. Thank you for that spoiler, article writer. And audiences have since wished for return. Several attempts made over the years never quite materialized, but this effort feels like it has the timing and ambition needed to pull through, judging by the names behind it. And it's the guy that worked on the Last of Us episode long time. And someone involved with the Good Girl's Guide to Murder. What do you think?
I think that this could absolutely work, but I don't trust them to have the intelligence and the ability to do it. Blake 7 was very much, I'm going to say of its time, but it was really ahead of its time. It was the opposite of Star Trek. It was, if Star Trek was supposed to be the optimistic, hopeful view of the future, this was the grim, dark warning of what could happen if we didn't step up and do something.
Okay.
We're talking AI judicial system where you're guilty until you're proven innocent, oppressive government altering computer files to rewrite history and implicate political enemies of fabricated crimes, invented diseases, manipulation of the citizenry through computer access, and that's right, and cameras all over to keep an eye on everybody at all times.
This could be a brilliant commentary on modern times, especially modern Britain.
But they're not intelligent enough to do that. So all they're going to do is they're going to probably just dial up the same characters all over again, telling basically the same stories all over again. But now we're going to race swap all the characters and make half of them or more than half of them gay. That's what I predict this will be.
Well, that's probably goes without saying these days, but yeah,
Now, don't get me wrong. If they do decide to make Jenna and Callie gay, I'm not going to complain overly much.
I don't know. Part of me thought the idea was based on the original show. Could they have theoretically done this as a follow-up about a new group of rebels, and the one guy takes on the name Blake as in honor of the prior group?
That would also be brilliant.
Yes.
That would be brilliant. In fact, they have even in the original 4 seasons. Remember, the show only lasted for 4 seasons, and it had an incredible, I don't know if you'd even call it a cliffhanger ending. You could consider it a cliffhanger ending, or you could just consider it a tragic ending, a very finite ending. But they had established that they could create duplicates of people. So yeah,
yes.
it would be absolutely in keeping if they created a duplicate of Blake.
Interesting.
And well, okay, let me back up for
Find a
those of you
lookalike
that,
actor. Yes.
for those of you if you didn't follow this show, it starts out with a guy who's just an average guy going through his life as a mindless NPC sheep in this oppressive society. To be reached out to by someone who claims to have known him from way back and telling him, yeah, she's right, they wouldn't be attractive. So yeah, so good point there. But he's reached out to by someone who claims to have been a friend of his, trying to get him to remember that he used to be this big name in the resistance against the Federation. And he's like, I don't know what you're talking about. Well, it's because they've wiped his mind and implanted new memories. And he says, no, it's not true. My family can attest. Your family's all dead. No, I get letters from them all the time from the outer colonies. They're all fabricated. And it ends up going where he's like, well, just come to this event where a bunch of rebels are meeting, and they follow him. They murder all of because one of the
he witnesses a horrible event.
He witnesses it, and he tries to say, I'm a citizen. I wasn't, it doesn't matter. And he's brought up on charges for something he absolutely didn't do. And he starts to get all of his memories back because he realizes he's being manipulated once again. And he, ends up, that's where it starts. And he's got to break out of prison, break out a bunch of other people from the prison. They steal a ship. They start a rebellion against the Federation. Well, how cool would it be if they started a new show with somebody who, not that they've lost their memory, but they choose to take on the memories of Blake.
Yes, like someone has them
stored. Or they create a clone of Blake and implant in him these memories. They're not your memories, and he learns, and then when the person that made him and all this kind of stuff get killed by the Federation, he says, okay, yeah, I'm Blake now. And goes off and does this. That would actually be.
They could just do that, and then you don't have to worry about doing recasts because you just have new characters.
And that's the other thing. You were saying have someone that looks like Garrett Thomas. I would say you don't even have to do that.
Because it could just be someone who says he's part of this and he decides I'm going to take on the memories because I want to help fight this rebellion against their
Exactly. You don't have to.
I will become Blake.
I am now Blake. Yes. Yeah, exactly.
And that would be interesting. Yeah, they could do that, but
I would love that. You're Blake? Well, I am now.
Yes.
They
could do that, guys, if you're listening, free of charge. Just make a good show.
No, because now that we've said it, if they've heard us say that, that's absolutely what they wouldn't do. Because they absolutely do not want to give the fans what they want at all, ever.
How is this going to work in modern England? Because the people that go against the system are always cast as the villains now.
Right? They will cast everyone in the seven as how do I say this without getting you demonetized before you get monetized? With darker skin, and fighting the oppressive imperialists.
Oh, it'll be an empire thing. Okay, yeah. Well, anyway. Question though. I don't know. This could work. You know that Terry Nation and George Orwell and all these people, they had an inkling of what could happen, I think.
And it's already happened. It's too late. So now we're going to get the opposite message, kind of like Animal Farm. This is going to be Animal Farm all over again.
I'll say this, the people in Northern Ireland get kind of violent. So I don't think they have yet. But anyway, I'm talking too much. Let's end on a happy note.
Yeah. Hey, isn't this where we came
Hut.
in?
Pizza Hut. Is this a scene from the 1980s?
Nope, not when you look at the guy in the foreground on his phone. This is modern day.
Get off the phone. It's funny. I was watching on the thing. They were interviewing the guy that's running this chain. He's like, he'll make fun of people if they're on their phone. Come on, this is not what this is about.
Yeah.
Florida's only Pizza Hut classic, featuring the nostalgic red plastic cups, vinyl booths, Tiffany-style lamps, and checkerboard tablecloths reminiscent of the 1980s, has become so popular that the employees from other locations have been brought in to help accommodate the influx of guests from Homosassa Springs restaurant. We have a big responsibility, team. Starks, president of Wichita, Kansas-based Land Corp, which operates 82 dine-in Pizza Huts, told Fox News digitally. We always want to provide great service and we want to provide a great product, but when you get put under a spotlight like this and people are coming from 2 or 3 hours away, you've got to deliver on that expectation. See,
Yeah.
people listen. Business
Yep.
people listen. You put the customer first, and they'll come back for more. Just do that. Pizza Hut started with the classic initiative around 2017, according to Sparks. They approached a few franchisees and said,
Sorry
okay.
about that.
Hey, we're thinking of doing this retro look. Do you guys want to participate in the test? So I jumped at the opportunity, he said. The first Pizza Classic that Deland opened was in Dahlonega, Georgia. We flew out to see it once it was finished. And as soon as I walked through the door, I really struck me, Sparks said. I was super excited. I thought I was going to like it. I didn't know I was going to like it as much as I did. For me personally, it hit home. Leadership changes at Pizza Hut eventually led to the brand new move away from the classic remodel, Sparks said, but the land was allowed to continue with them. We did eventually run into a problem where we actually bought all the Tiffany lights that we could find, he said. That brand quit producing them for us because there just wasn't a big enough commitment for people to buy them. Some of DeLand's Pizza classic locations still don't have the distinctive lamps, but renewed interest in the retro restaurants to change that. Now, because of the attention, we have 5 different vendors bidding to build those lights for us again. See that?
There you go. There you go. This is how you do it.
Customer feedback showed that the throwback style really resonated with everybody. Sparks said DeLand currently operates 39 Pizza Hut classic locations. Since the Homosassa Springs restaurant was converted, dine-in sales have been more than doubled. Tons of people travel from well over an hour away to visit the Pizza Classic DeLand operates in Tunkhannock, Pennsylvania, which has attracted significant attention on social media, according to Sparks. There's only 1,700 people in that town. They will almost double the national average of Pizza Hut this year in sales, he said. Older generations of fond memories of Pizza Hut aren't the only ones drawn to retro restaurants. Sparks said he encountered skepticism early on from those who believed the concept would primarily cater to baby boomers. That's where we were dramatically wrong. When we started to get a lot of traction with social media, there weren't 50 or 60-year-olds coming in and doing TikToks, right? These were people in their teens and 20s coming in and doing them because they're seeing it as something they missed out on. Yep. As a kid, Sparks said he was drawn to the music, diners, and drive-ins of his parents' generation in the 1950s and 60s. It was something I never experienced because it was gone by the time I became a teenager, but it was something I always saw in pictures and really wished I had, he said. He believes younger generations may feel similar toward the Pizza Hut classics. I think it does take them back to a little clip of time and an era in their minds. Things weren't as hectic, Sparks says. It was a simpler time. And Sparks also noticed other phenomena when customers visit the classic restaurants. People put their phones down.
Yeah,
Sparks said. Once they're over the excitement and they're taking pictures of the Pac-Man machine and salad bar and the Tiffany lamps, they sit down and they start having conversation, he says. I can't explain it, but it's super cool to watch. Look, they're playing the Pac-Man game.
I'm telling you, we've been avoiding the carbs in a big way, but if they open one of these near us, I'm taking Netter to dinner at one of these Pizza Huts. We're doing it.
Bring the Street Fighter 2 Turbo Machine back and you have my attention. Well, maybe they can get one.
Well, there you go.
Another restaurant.
There you go. Yeah.
Street Fighter 2. Bring all restaurants back to 90s, including the architecture. I'm telling you, man, people are realizing we missed out. And, we're not getting our entertainment back, but maybe we can get our restaurants back.
Right? Well, there's a Pizza Hut in Schaumburg, next village over.
But is it one of those retro-style Pizza Huts? That's the problem.
Okay, let me see.
I'm the guy in the blue flannel.
Yeah, kind of. I'm kind of
He
with
said
you
he's
on
getting
that.
their ish together. Saw a video about that. Yeah, they are Clue Studio. It's just it's good stuff. I hear places usually have a basket for phones on the table. That's funny.
Yeah.
You'll eat one of those instead of the breadstick.
Closest, yep. Sorry, the closest retro Pizza Hut in Illinois is Geneseo, Geneseo. Never heard of it.
I have no idea where that
According
is.
to Google, it's about a 2.5 to 3 hour drive away.
Yikes. Yeah, well, like
But
I
I'm
said,
going to do a reality check because I don't trust Google.
yeah,
I
if
assume that these places should be places people when they're taking road trips make a stopover in this
probably,
town, and or
probably.
find one near you while you're on the thing.
But you
Okay.
know what? If these keep doing well, we'll see more and more of them
Two and a
popping
half
up.
hours.
Yeah, it's 2.5 hours. That's a heck of a drive for one meal. But maybe more of these will be coming.
Do you have Pizzeria Uno's in your area?
Oh yeah, all over the
See,
place.
those I like. I wish we had
Pizzeria
more.
Uno, Giordano's. Actually, Giordano's is much closer, but
Okay. I love Pizzeria Uno. That's my favorite pizza chain. But we don't get them. Or they're the closest one to me is in Orlando. But you know how far that takes me to get there. But
yeah.
but look at that though. Look at that. It warms the heart. And as these become popular, more will open up. And maybe we can get back what we've lost, because isn't that what Geeky Geezers is all about? Remembering the good old days and trying to bring back the past.
Bring back the good of the past. There is a libertarian portion of me that thinks that there's a certain amount of progressivism that could be good, right? And I
Sure.
think this is also why I think people are responding so well to the concept of retrofuturism, right? Because the good old days weren't always good, but we could bring them back. But we could bring them back better. That's why, like I said, I bought an old radio at a thrift store. I'm going to take the guts out, replace it with modern electronics, and plug in one of those chips that has pre-recorded music and radio shows from a bygone era that I can play at any time, just cause, and I won't be able to fast forward. I won't be able to skip. It'll have all the old commercials on it. I got a DM from Samuel Proctor, where people are using a Raspberry Pi to do the same thing to get old style cable for their televisions. Including the HBO opening and closings for the movies.
Love that.
The following has been rated PG by the Motion Picture Association of America. Parental guidance.
Well, yeah, like using new technology. Like I'm a big fan of that Evercade console, so they can update the cartridges, but the updates stay on the cartridge, so they don't.
And I guess that's what I was getting at with this. I was kind of thinking, we got Clue saying, they should have this game and that game. They could put in a console that's got like all kinds of games. You could drop in a quarter and play one of 100 games that they used to have back in the 80s,
I would think they'd have a Street Fighter you could still buy from Capcom that's coin operated, though, because that's like next to Pac-Man. That's probably the most popular arcade game ever made. That and maybe one of the Mortal Kombats too.
Because this is the thing, Clue mentioned Street Fighter. I immediately thought of what was it, Galaga.
Oh yeah, you can do a one of those combo.
I'm like, all of us had different experiences with different games in our particular Pizza Hut.
Yes.
Now what they want to do is use the modern technology, for all of them,
Pac-Man would be a good one to have in there. Anything where you could have two-player people playing.
I will say another thing that they're missing out on with Hollywood decentralizing, right? And moving to all other parts of the country. Let's just put it that way. If the rest of the country starts putting in retro restaurants, how easy would it be for them to say, oh, hey, you want to do your Hollywood movie set in the 1980s? Here you go. You want to do your Stranger Things or whatever it is set in the 1980s? Yeah, you can film here, no problem. You know.
I'm telling you, they had to retrofit that mall in season 3. They did film at an actual mall,
Yeah.
and they had to put all those places in. Yeah, I don't know. I want everything that's old back again. I think tabletop gaming too. Tabletop companies maybe start looking to the past in a little way, right?
Yep.
DSR, I'm looking at you. Or I should say Wizards of the Coast, right? Because that's really who
I
runs
know.
it. But yes,
I know.
anyway.
Well, but see, unfortunately, you're not going to see TSR doing it. What you're seeing is there are other game companies that are starting to put out, there's one that I can't remember the name of. I can't remember, but they're putting out modules basically for first edition Dungeons and Dragons in that style with different branding. God bless you.
Thank you.
So yeah, people are doing it for themselves if they have to, you know.
And that's it.
That's
it for Geeky Geezers.
And there is no closing credits. There is nothing, no bells and whistles. All of that will return next week in the new studio. However, another thing that we can't provide you with is a forward to deleted scenes. So I'm dropping the link right now. Go over and say hi over there. Hang out. Say hi to his guest. She happens to, at least for the rest of her gifted membership, she's a member on my channel. So say hi for me. She may not even know that she's a member on my channel for the time being, but let her know. And enjoy. And then when you're done there, please get over to my channel where we will be wrapping up the Crusade. We had a very clunky run of it last week, but I've fixed all of that this week, I believe, on the new studio. So come join us for late night Doctor Who, real Doctor Who, you know, the kind that we loved before the Cultural Vandals got a hold of it.
Yes.
And that's it.
All right. Thank you all for joining us, and we will see you next time.
It's going to be a sudden bye. Goodbye.
Bye.
Oh, end the stream. I'll just end the stream.
I'll let you do it.